Let's talk Devin Haney real quick. Let's talk this whole thing about his power and he's pillow fisted. I've seen that so many places, but it's cool. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. There's people that I actually rock with on YouTube. They believe he's pillow fisted. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but they also a lot of people say that and they also call him a great fighter. Uh, I don't really know what to think about that, man. I mean, I seen pretty much all his fights, especially his recent ones, and I will say there are definitely things that Devin Haney should work on. You know, there's some defensive things I think he should work on as well. Definitely the defense, but like there's some things that I catch with him that he should improve on, and I believe he will. There's some things I see, definitely, but for the most part, the kid is a sound fighter, man. He's a phenomenal fighter. I mean, his movement is just, I guess a lot of that comes, he's training with Floyd Mayweather for a while, so he got some of that wisdom and that knowledge in him from Floyd, but his pillow fistness that a lot of people say, could it be a gift or a curse? As he goes along in his career, I would say, man, I think he'll be fine because you got to understand there's a lot of boxers that's better at movement than they are with power punching. Jalik the Leader last week he had a live and he was talking about some boxers like that, and especially Nicolino Loche. I know a lot of people that don't follow boxing a lot don't know who he is, but I remember watching, like, my grandfather used to watch him, man. He used to watch like a lot of the old, like the Joe Louis, and he used to sit me down and I used to watch a lot of that. And Nicolino Loche was one of those type of boxers, man. He was more of he was an elusive, very elusive fighter. I would say he was more uh, on the level of like Pernell Whitaker. Even Floyd Mayweather was. I don't know how to really gauge them as far as, like, I would say Pernell Whitaker is probably levels above Mayweather when it comes to the way he was, how elusive he was. So Pernell's on a different level, and Nicolino Loche was on that level. Now Devin Haney, I would say, is on a level below Floyd Mayweather when it comes to his elusiveness. He works on that a little bit more. He won't get, because I see some fights he get hit a little bit. I'm like, yeah, if he get hit with something by a power puncher, man, he gonna feel that he gonna get hurt. So that's one of the things I say that he got to work on. But nonetheless, overall, man, great. He's an excellent fighter. And sometimes you just ain't built for power, man. Sometimes your greatest asset is your movement and your jab, or stuff like that. And there's people questioning that. Okay, well, yeah, all of that work on those lower tier comp that he's been facing. What's gonna happen when he fights a Ryan Garcia, a Javante Tank Davis, a Teofimo Lopez? Shit, man. Even you might even step it down a little bit. What happens if he fights a Javier Fortuna, which is being talked about, or a Jorge Linares, which is also being discussed as well. So one of those are going to be likely his next two opponents. I think he beats both of them, but I think he beats Javier Fortuna more convincingly than he does Jorge Linares, due to the fact Jorge Linares' style is nearly more of a structured boxer, more disciplined than Javier Fortuna. You'll find that out if they fight. If Devin Haney fights Jorge Linares, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Uh, he's a great fighter. I can't take nothing from him, man. Look, power is not always everything. It's good to have. If it was me, if I was a boxer, I would rather have the overall all around. I would rather have the power, the IQ, the speed, the footwork. Sometimes some boxers just got more than others. Some boxers got better footwork, no power. You got boxers with power, no footwork. You got boxers with speed, no power. You got boxers with power, no speed. It's very few boxers you're gonna find that have all of those attributes. Not gonna find that, especially nowadays. All these fighters, none of them, to me, I will have to sit and just roll through them to see which fighter has all of that. You know, I think that's gonna be my next video. Which boxer has all of these attributes? Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a video on that. I'm gonna touch on that. But right now we talking about Haney, and Haney, a lot of people frown upon him because they say he has pillow fists. They say the same thing for Shakur Stevenson, and he's, like I said, Shakur Stevenson, I believe he's younger than Devin Haney. So like I said, people talk about this man strength thing. You gotta grow into man strength. You gotta grow into man strength. They not strong yet. They gotta grow into their man strength. There might be a little bit of, there might be some kind of truth to that. Maybe. It's not always the case. Sometimes either you have the power, or you're born with it, or you're not, man. You know, I'm 40 years old now, and it's strange because I don't know. I actually feel stronger now than I did when I was like 25 years old. It's weird. I could actually vouch for that. I'm doing things now. I'm lifting. It's weird. Like, you know, I'm banging my knees on things and I'm not feeling it. It's like, it's weird. Like I'm some kind of mutant. The other day, you know how you got the edge of the bed, you know, the little sharp part sometimes on your bedpost. And normally, man, people hit their knee on that and they fall, and I walked right into that. I'm talking about hard. I felt it, but it's almost like the shit bounced off my knee. And I'm like, damn, I'm older now. You would figure that shit would be hurting, my knee would be in pain. Nothing. That's just one thing. I always had power. I was always strong. Like I used to street box, and I used to go to the gym too sometimes up in Brooklyn. They had some gyms. They had Gleason's gym. They had some other gyms I used to go to when I was younger. And I always had like, I'm a right hand puncher. I punch with my right. I always had power on my right hand, but also my left, like my jab was always strong. I always had a strong jab. And like I said, when we used to do the street boxing, man, it was this guy named Giggs, and everybody was scared to fight Giggs, man. I mean, he was fast. Yeah, he was strong and everything, and he was taller than me. I fought him, and then I was jabbing him. And like I said, when I street fight, I don't do all that moving my head back. You know, like a lot of these dudes you watch videos, you move their head back. I don't do it. I lean forward with my punches, everything. Would be similar to like a boxer, like in the ring, a pro boxer. But when I was hitting him with the jab, I was shutting his eye. And I didn't realize I was just popping it out there. And he's like, bro, your fucking jab is like dynamite. And I didn't realize that shit, man. I didn't realize how strong I was. I remember growing up, my cousins would be like, yo, bro, your hand, like, you just heavy-handed. You gotta watch how you be, you know what I mean, how I'm playing with my cousins. And it didn't dawn on me, man. And then my daughter, my 10-year-old, like I got the little mitts, you know, you punch on, you know, the training mitts when the boxers is, you hold them up and let them punch it. And I'm letting her punch on them, and I'm telling you, dude, her hands are so goddamn heavy. And I'm just like, yo, this kid got granite fists. I mean, and she's not even giving it effort. It's kind of like she just tapped this shit, and my hands is just going back, and I can feel it through the mitt. That's how heavy my daughter hits, man. And I sometimes give my wife massages, and I don't realize, she's like, bro, you gotta be a little bit more gentle. And I don't be realizing I'm being this rough because my hands are I just got heavy hands. That doesn't mean, you know, if I was a pro boxer, that would get me far, man. You gotta have other attributes. The most important attributes, I guess, is the IQ. You gotta have the IQ and the heart. The heart and IQ, man. If you ain't got the heart, you ain't got nothing. You can have all the power, speed, but you gotta have the heart. And most of these boxers, that's why they have, like, the good boxers. That's why they got the records they have, because they have that heart. You know what I mean? Heart doesn't mean standing there getting punched in the face like a rock'em sock'em robot, man. It takes hard to even step in there. You know what I mean? And power. You know, look at Rolly Ramirez. The dude can't box. He can't box at all, in my opinion. Problems. Tank could probably knock him out if he don't. There's things, like I said, there's things with Devin Haney, man. I don't want to ramble too much more, but there's things with Devin Haney that I see he got to fix as well. Like, all of them. All of them have their flaws. All of them have their weaknesses. And that's going to be another video that we're going to talk about. what are the weaknesses and flaws? What's the strength and flaws for each of these fighters? I probably will break it down by each fighter, man. I think that's a good little thing I want to start. Like, I want to get people's comments. When I start being able to go live, I want to start making. I'm gonna do live topics on those. We're gonna go through each fighter. We're gonna be like, all right, what's their strengths and what's their weaknesses, and what can they